Today is Earth Day, and as you can see behind me, there's a lot of activity here at Riverview High School. This is the Florida Field Trip.
It's so weird. I'm doing anything. I'm Diane Bassett. I am a teacher at Riverview. I teach honors marine science and I teach IB biology too.
And what is going on here?
Well, happy Earth Day, first of all.
Absolutely.
We are beautifying the campus. We've received 2 grants and generous donations and lots of matching and in-kind and lots of student labor to install a native plant trail. It's going to be an extension of our already in place programs, the planetarium and the aquadome, so that students who come to the school can actually also visit the earth part. So we have sky, we have sea, we have earth.
That's great. They seem to be pretty enthusiastic.
Well, they realize the potential in the campus and they like to get outside. They like to try to beautify the campus in hopes that, you know, all the students would appreciate this part of the campus.
You can say it's great being outside, but I imagine there's a science component too.
Absolutely, absolutely. Several of the classes have come out here. They've done water quality testing. They've done soil testing. They've researched the plants. My club, which is the Papillon Club, actually started a little bit of campus beautification with our butterfly garden that's back behind the aquadome. And that kind of branched out to now what can we do with this piece of property, and then from there it just blossomed and the environmental kids got involved. Our agri-science kids have been very active with it. The other marine classes, the marine clubs, everybody kind of jumped on board because it was such a cool, great idea.
Well, you're doing all native plants.
Yes, sir.
How would you describe a native plant?
Well, a native plant that you would have found in old Florida, the days that the pioneers were here, before people started beautifying yards with things that were imported. The Florida Native Plant Society and several other entities helped us not only with the choice of plants, but also where things would go. And so we've tried to mimic 5 of the ecosystems that normally you would find in Florida. Toward the aquadome, we would have what you would normally find in a forest. That area doesn't get much sun, so with the shade, that's perfect. And then as you go along the path, you'll find the pine woods. You'll find the hammock, hardwood hammock. We also have a gopher tortoise, of kind of a faux installation there so that people can see what a gopher tortoise habitat would look like and the benefits of a gopher tortoise habitat for other animals. And then down along the dock we have a riparian area, and then we've also had some professionals come out and help us by planting around our retention pond to make that much more natural and not just, you know, mowed down.
You mentioned that we have a lot of stuff that's here that wasn't here in the early days. Is there a difference between non-native and invasive plants?
Well, yes. Most of the invasives on our campus have been taken out. And then there are also non-native plants. But for our purpose, for our plant trail, we wanted plants that would flourish in these habitats, but they are all plants that you would find in Florida, and in this part of Florida.
So they're not going to come in and crowd out things that were here before.
They are not, and they work well with some of the things that we already have here, like our cypress trees and our oak trees, and so it's just to complement those. But we felt more compelled to do that than to bring in plants that aren't native from here.
What do you think about this in relationship to the future that these students are going to be facing on down the road?
Well, interestingly enough, some of my students who are juniors here have decided that they want to take this on as a project to continue it next year. Maybe help with the weeding and the watering and the upkeep. Although that, because of the plants we have, that will be kind of minimal, and also the way we've put them in. But they still feel that need to do this, and I think that if we have attitudes like that, it'll extend beyond just next year. It will perpetuate.
They're certainly going to be facing challenges that we can't even imagine right now.
Absolutely. And so even if it's this one day that some of them do the planting, although some of them have worked on this for weeks, I think they'll feel the difference. These are actually the other members of our administrative team, our grant team, the teachers that also have a huge hand in this.
Is this a great way to teach?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Very much so.
Hands on for sure. And today's Earth Day, so what a
perfect.
special occasion.
Perfect.
Yep.
You know.
And these are the kids that are not testing today, so that's even better because they would be inside the building, locked in on Earth Day. So we're happy to have them outside.
Yeah, this is FCAT Day, right?
Yes, it is. For our 9th and 10th graders.
Diane mentioned you had grants that came in. Where did they come from? What organization?
The Community Foundation and the Education Foundation of Sarasota were kind enough to provide us with the grants.
Like
The
the
Patterson
native
Foundation also, has assisted us, and the tremendous support that we've gotten from the community, ranging from Lowe's, Home Depot, Porter Paints, and also Living Waters and Pond, who's providing our koi pond.
And USA Fence.
Tons of support.
I see there's a lot of floor mulch
Yes.
here.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, the floor mulch is made from punk, and it really prohibits weed growth. And of course, we didn't know any of this until we started talking to our experts. We have quite a few in the advisory who advise us regarding how to do this process. And they said use the floor mulch because that will control the weeds.
It comes from Melaleuca trees, is that right?
That's correct. That's correct. And then you're using pine straw, right, Diane?
Pine straw will go in between the plants that are being placed in today.
Well, great job. This is, I'd go back to school if this is what I could do.
That's right.
So that's why we're in school.
That's right.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.